Assalamu alaikum, let's explore this Islamic topic together. Hey, so you want to know about Ramadan during Hajj? It's pretty incredible, actually. It's not just about fasting in the desert heat. It's a deeply spiritual experience that layers one of the most important times of the Islamic year. Ramadan, onto the already monumental Hajj pilgrimage. Think of it as a double dose of spiritual intensity. Ramadan, as you probably know, is the month of fasting, reflection, and increased devotion to Allah. It's a time when Muslims around the world abstain from food and drink from dawn till dusk. Instead on prayer, charity, and self-improvement. It's a powerful experience, a time for resetting and recommitting to your faith. Now, Hajj is something else entirely. It's one of the 5 pillars of Islam. A pilgrimage to Makkah that every able-bodied Muslim should undertake at least once in their lifetime. It's a journey back to the origins of Islam, retracing the steps of Prophet Abraham and his family. A time of intense spiritual cleansing and unity. Millions of people, from all corners of the globe, converge on Makkah, a truly breathtaking and humbling sight. Imagine this massive, diverse crowd, all united in their devotion, all striving for the same spiritual goal. So, what happens when these two incredible events coincide? Well, it creates something truly unique and profoundly moving. Ramadan during Hajj is significant because it amplifies everything that's already special about both events. It's like taking the spiritual intensity of Ramadan and multiplying it by the scale and significance of Hajj. Think about it. You're already in a state of spiritual elevation, performing rituals with millions of fellow Muslims in the holiest of cities. Then you add the fasting of Ramadan to the mix. The physical demands of Hajj, the walking, the standing, the constant movement in the often intense heat, are already challenging. To perform these acts while fasting adds another layer of sacrifice and devotion. It's a test of faith, no doubt, but also a demonstration of unwavering commitment to Allah. The historical con is also fascinating. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself performed both Hajj and observed Ramadan. The combination of these events is intrinsically linked to the very foundation of Islam. So, for Muslims, experiencing Ramadan during Hajj isn't just a coincidence. It's a powerful connection to the Prophet's life and a chance to walk in his footsteps in a deeply profound way. It's not just about the physical challenges though. It's about the spiritual rewards. The increase on prayer and reflection, which is already heightened during Ramadan, is further amplified by the sanctity of the Hajj pilgrimage. The prayers you offer in Makkah during Ramadan hold a special significance. They're answered with greater ease. It's believed every act of worship, every moment of reflection, carries an extra weight of meaning. The atmosphere in Makkah during this time is palpable. The air is thick with devotion, with prayers echoing through the ancient streets. The crowds are immense, yet there's a sense of unity and shared purpose that's truly extraordinary. You feel a connection not only to Allah but to millions of other Muslims, all striving for the same spiritual goal, all sharing in the same sacrifices, all feeling the same intense emotions. Imagine the feeling of standing in the vast plains of Arafat, millions strong, under the scorching sun, fasting during the day, praying throughout the night. It's a truly humbling experience. A feeling of absolute insignificance before the grandeur of Allah's creation and the collective devotion of His servants. The experience of Ramadan during Hajj isn't just about personal spiritual growth. It's also about strengthening the Ummah, the global Muslim community. The shared experience of these sacred events forges incredible bonds between people from all walks of life, all corners of the world. It transcends cultural differences and political divides, creating a powerful sense of unity and brotherhood that is truly inspiring. In essence, Ramadan during Hajj is a potent mix of physical challenge, spiritual growth, and a powerful connection to Islamic history and the wider Muslim community. It's a unique and profoundly moving experience that leaves an indelible mark on those fortunate enough to witness it. It's more than just fasting and pilgrimage. It's a profound spiritual journey, a testament to faith, and a deeply enriching experience that stays with you long after you've returned home. It's something you can't really fully grasp until you experience it for yourself. But hopefully, this gives you a glimpse into its significance. Hey, so, you wanna hear about Ramadan during Hajj? It's seriously something else. Imagine this. Millions of people, from every corner of the globe, all gathered in Makkah, already buzzing with the energy of the Hajj pilgrimage. And then, boom, Ramadan starts. It's a truly incredible confluence of events, historically significant and incredibly powerful spiritually. You know how Hajj itself is a deeply symbolic journey, retracing the steps of Abraham and his family? Well, having Ramadan fall during Hajj adds another layer, almost like a cosmic blessing. It's not something that happens every year, of course. The Islamic lunar calendar means the dates shift, so sometimes they align, and sometimes they don't. But when they do, it's unforgettable. The first thing you notice, probably, is the change in the atmosphere. Even before the official start of Ramadan, you can sense the heightened anticipation. Everyone's already on edge, emotionally and physically, from the intense rituals of Hajj. The prayers, the circumambulation of the Kaaba, the standing on Mount Arafat, it's exhausting, beautiful, and deeply spiritual. Then, suddenly, the fast begins. Imagine, you are in the middle of this massive, overwhelming spiritual event, already emotionally charged, and then you add the discipline and reflection of Ramadan on top of that. It's not just about abstaining from food and drink from dawn till dusk. It's about intensified prayer, increased charity, and a profound on self-improvement. The early mornings during Ramadan at Hajj are incredible. The pre-dawn meal, suhoor, is a rushed but communal affair. You might find yourself sharing a simple date and a sip of water with complete strangers, united by this shared experience. The sense of brotherhood and sisterhood is palpable, everyone supporting each other, sharing what little they have, understanding the challenges of fasting in that intense heat and energy. Think about the logistics. Millions of people, all inked to get to their prayer spots for Fajr. The dawn prayer, the vastness of the plains of Arafat, the sheer number of people, it's humbling. But everyone, despite the difficulties, feels a powerful sense of togetherness. The fast itself becomes a shared act of devotion, strengthening the bonds between pilgrims. During the day, the atmosphere shifts. While the Hajj rituals continue, the stoning of the devil, the farewell circumambulation around the Kaaba, the feeling of Ramadan is woven throughout everything. You are read on your inner life, your relationship with God, even more so than usual during Hajj. The physical exertion of the pilgrimage becomes almost meditative, a physical manifestation of the spiritual journey. The heat is intense. Of course, it's already challenging to perform Hajj in the heat of the Saudi Arabian summer. And adding a fast to the mix presents enormous physical demands. But the collective spirit of the pilgrims carries everyone through. They support each other, share water sparingly, when allowed, because even taking a sip during the day is a huge act of willpower, and offer words of encouragement and strength. Then there's the evening, Iftar, the breaking of the fast, is a deeply moving experience. After a long day of intense physical and spiritual exertion, the first sip of water, the first bite of food, it's a moment of profound relief and gratitude. Again, it's a communal event. People share their meals, celebrate together, and give thanks for this unique spiritual confluence. The nights during Ramadan at Hajj are filled with prayers, recitations of the Quran, and reflection. The air hums with the voices of millions of people engaged in supplication. A chorus of devotion that resonates across the ancient city. The spiritual intensity is overwhelming, in a beautiful and humbling way. Ramadan and Hajj, when they intersect, represent a pinnacle of devotion. It's a powerful testament to the faith and resilience of millions. A historical event that connects people across time and cultures. It's not just a religious experience, it's a human one. A testament to the power of collective faith, perseverance, and the profound sense of unity that can arise from shared devotion. It's something you really have to experience to truly understand. It's magical, in a way that only words can hint at. And that's just the beginning. There's so much more to it than that. Hey, so you want to know about Ramadan during Hajj? It's intense. Seriously, imagine the spiritual energy of Ramadan. Already a deeply moving time, amplified 1,000-fold by the sheer scale and significance of the Hajj. It's a truly incredible experience, and a huge undertaking for millions of people. First off, let's remember what Hajj is. It's one of the 5 pillars of Islam. A pilgrimage to Makkah that every able-bodied Muslim who can afford it should undertake at least once in their lifetime. It's a deeply personal journey, a chance to reconnect with God, and also a massive communal event, millions of people from all over the world, all united by their faith. Now picture this. You're already in Makkah, surrounded by this incredible sea of humanity. You are going through the rituals of Hajj, the circumambulation of the Kaaba, the running between Safa and Marwa, standing on Arafat, and so on. All these incredibly physically and emotionally demanding rituals. And you're doing it all while fasting during Ramadan. That's the heart of it. Right there. The combination. The sheer intensity. It's not just the physical exertion of the Hajj rituals, the heat, the crowds. It's also the spiritual intensity of Ramadan. You are fasting from dawn till dusk, abstaining from food and drink, on prayer, reflection, and devotion to Allah. Think about it. The days are already long and hot in Makkah during Hajj season. Add the fasting to that, and you have a situation where physical endurance is really tested. But the spiritual reward is believed to be immense. People describe it as an experience that completely transforms you. The spiritual energy is palpable. You are physically drained, yes, but spiritually invigorated. It's a strange and beautiful paradox. Historically, this confluence of Ramadan and Hajj has always held a significant place in Islamic history. There are many stories and accounts from throughout the centuries of pilgrims who have experienced this unique combination. These accounts often speak of the intense spiritual connection, the feeling of being incredibly close to God, and the unwavering sense of community shared with fellow Muslims from all corners of the world. They talk about the increased prayer, the enhanced introspection, the deeper understanding of faith. But it's not just about the spiritual aspect. There's also a powerful sense of shared sacrifice. Everyone around you is going through the same experience. The heat, the hunger, the exhaustion, all while performing the Hajj rituals. This shared experience fosters a remarkable sense of unity and brotherhood. A feeling of being part of something truly immense and meaningful. Imagine the breaking of the fast. Iftar, during Hajj in Ramadan. It's not just a meal, it's a communal event. Millions of people, exhausted and thirsty after a long day of rituals under the scorching sun, gather to share a simple meal, reflecting on their journey and expressing gratitude. It's a breathtaking display of unity and faith. The atmosphere is electrifying, a mix of relief, joy, and profound spiritual satisfaction. And then, there's the night prayer, Taraweeh, during Ramadan. These special prayers are already powerful during Ramadan. But imagine experiencing them in the sacred spaces of Makkah during Hajj. Thousands of voices reciting the Quran together, filling the air with devotion and reverence. With the Kaaba, the symbolic heart of Islam, in plain view, it's an experience that words simply can't capture. It's something you have to feel, to understand. There's also a practical side to consider. The logistical challenges are immense. Millions of people converging on Makkah, all fasting, all needing to manage their hydration and energy levels. Organizers have to work incredibly hard to ensure everyone has access to water, food, for breaking fast, and adequate medical care. It's not always easy. There are certainly challenges. The crowds can be overwhelming. The heat can be unbearable. And the physical demands can be exhausting. But for those who undertake this pilgrimage during Ramadan, the rewards are considered to be immeasurable, both spiritually and personally. So, to sum up, Ramadan during Hajj is an intense, demanding, but ultimately incredibly rewarding experience. It's a unique blend of physical endurance, spiritual devotion, and communal unity, forging an unforgettable connection with both God and fellow pilgrims. It's a journey that transforms lives, leaving an enduring mark on the hearts and minds of those fortunate enough to experience it. It's a story best told through lived experience. But I hope this gives you a sense of what it's all about. Are there any other questions you have? Hey, so, we were talking about Ramadan and Hajj, right? Imagine the incredible confluence of these two massive events in the Islamic calendar. It's truly something special. It's not something that happens every year. Of course, because the lunar calendar means the timing shifts. But when Ramadan does fall during the Hajj pilgrimage, wow! It's a powerful experience. Think about it. Hajj itself is already an unbelievably intense spiritual journey. Millions of people from all corners of the globe converging on Makkah, fulfilling a sacred duty, praying together, experiencing this incredible sense of unity. And then, you layer on top of that the fasting, prayer, reflection, and spiritual discipline of Ramadan. It's like amplifying the already powerful emotions 100-fold. Historically, the combination of these two events has always held a significant place in Islamic history. You know, the Hajj itself goes back to the very beginning of Islam, to Abraham's story. And throughout history, whenever Ramadan coincided with the pilgrimage, it would have added another profound layer to the experience. I imagine the atmosphere must have been absolutely electric, a palpable sense of devotion and shared purpose. Just picture thousands upon thousands of people, already deeply engaged in their Hajj rituals, also observing the fast of Ramadan, the discipline, the self-reflection, the constant prayer. It must have been awe-inspiring. Now, how did it all conclude? Well, it doesn't conclude as a separate event. Ramadan's end, Eid al-Fitr, is a huge celebration marking the breaking of the fast. But remember, during this time, people are still deeply immersed in the Hajj rituals. So Eid al-Fitr, falling during Hajj, becomes a unique blend of joy and continued devotion. Imagine the scene. The days leading up to Eid would have been filled with a heightened sense of anticipation. A palpable energy amongst the pilgrims. They're already experiencing the emotional highs and lows of Hajj, the spiritual cleansing of standing on Mount Arafat, the symbolic stoning of the devil at Mina, the circumambulation of the Kaaba. And then, the culmination of Ramadan's fast is woven into this already incredible tapes. The actual breaking of the fast on Eid al-Fitr in Makkah would be an incredible sight. Imagine the collective sigh of relief and joy after a month of fasting, compounded by the immense spiritual journey of Hajj. It's not just a meal. It's a shared moment of profound gratitude. A feeling of unity that transcends national boundaries and cultural differences. The prayers of Eid would resonate with even more intensity. A beautiful blend of celebrating the end of Ramadan and the completion of the Hajj pilgrimage. And after Eid, the Hajj rituals continue. But the feeling would be different. There's a lightness, a sense of accomplishment, having completed both Ramadan and Hajj in the same year. Two pillars of Islam, back to back. The pilgrims carry with them not just the physical souvenirs but also the deep spiritual enrichment of this unique convergence. The historical significance isn't just about the sheer number of people involved or the intensity of the devotion. It's also about the spiritual legacy. Think about the stories passed down through generations, tales of immense hardship endured, of spiritual breakthroughs experienced, of profound connections forged. This combined experience would have strengthened the bonds of the Ummah, the global Muslim community, in ways that are hard to fully comprehend today. So, in essence, the conclusion of Ramadan during the Hajj pilgrimage isn't a neat ending, but a seamless transition. It's like the crescendo of a powerful symphony, where the culmination of Ramadan's discipline seamlessly blends with the spiritual fulfillment of Hajj, creating an unforgettable, deeply moving experience. It's not just about the rituals. It's about the internal transformation, the spiritual growth, and the indelible mark it leaves on the souls of those who are fortunate enough to experience it. It's a memory that stays with them for life, shaping their faith and influencing their actions long after they've returned home. It's a powerful story of faith, devotion, and the unifying power of shared spiritual experience. That's something truly special, wouldn't you say? Hey, so you were asking about Ramadan and Hajj overlapping. What a fascinating thing to think about. It's not something that happens every year. You know, the lunar calendar means they shift around. But when they do coincide, it's incredibly powerful. It's like a spiritual double whammy, a supercharged experience for Muslims. Imagine Hajj, this massive undertaking, a journey back to the origins of Islam, a physical and spiritual cleansing. You are surrounded by millions of other people, all striving for the same thing, closeness to God. You are in the heart of Islam's history, walking in the footsteps of prophets, literally. And then, you are also observing Ramadan, the month of fasting, reflection, and increased devotion. The intensity is almost overwhelming in the best possible way. Historically, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, performed both Hajj and Ramadan observances. And that alone is significant for Muslims. It sets a powerful precedent, showing us how to prioritize spiritual growth and how even the most demanding rituals of Islam can be combined and strengthened when approached with sincere faith and intent. Think of it, the very actions of the Prophet himself, showing us a path, an example to follow. Now, the overlap itself doesn't change the specifics asterisk of either ritual. You still fast during Ramadan from dawn till dusk, but in the scorching heat of Makkah. That requires extra levels of discipline and resilience. It's a test of faith, absolutely. You are already exhausted from the Hajj rituals, the walking, the standing, the prayers, the constant crowds, and then you are adding fasting to that mix. But aren't just about suffering. It's about deepening the spiritual experience. The con really matters here. The Hajj itself is deeply symbolic. It's a reenactment of Abraham's journey, of his willingness to sacrifice his son for God. That itself is a powerful story of devotion and obedience. When you're fasting during Hajj, during Ramadan, you are connecting with that ancient story on another level. You are emphasizing sacrifice, self-discipline, and submission to God's will, mirroring Abraham's actions and intent. It's a profound intensification of the already profound Hajj experience. Imagine the prayers, the collective prayers during Hajj are extraordinary. A sea of humanity united in worship. Now imagine doing that while fasting. The concentration is incredible. The feeling of community is intensified 1,000-fold. You're physically weak perhaps, but spiritually, you are soaring. It's like experiencing the highest possible level of spiritual connection, a state of heightened awareness and closeness to God. And then there's the aspect of reflection. Ramadan itself encourages intense introspection. You are evaluating your actions, repenting for your sins, striving to become a better person. During Hajj, you are already doing that, reflecting on your journey, your life, and your relationship with God. The overlap intensifies this. It's as if the two rituals amplify each other, creating a crucible of spiritual growth and transformation. So, what does it all teach us today? Well, several things spring to mind. Firstly, the power of combining spiritual practices. It shows us that faith is not a compartmentalized thing. It's about integrating all aspects of our lives into a holistic spiritual journey. Secondly, the importance of perseverance. The physical and mental demands of performing Hajj during Ramadan are immense. It teaches us resilience, the importance of pushing beyond our comfort zones to achieve spiritual goals. It teaches us that true faith is tested and strengthened through difficulty. Thirdly, it highlights the significance of community. Hajj, by its very nature, is a communal experience. Ramadan, with its emphasis on shared prayers and breaking the fast together, further strengthens that sense of community. It's a powerful reminder of our shared humanity and shared faith, even amidst the massive crowds. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, the experience underscores the central tenets of Islam: submission to God, perseverance, compassion, and the importance of constantly striving for spiritual growth and self-improvement. It's a reminder that the journey towards God is continuous, and that even the most devoted amongst us can always deepen our connection with the divine. So, yeah, Ramadan during Hajj is more than just a coincidence. It's a powerful and profoundly moving spiritual experience, a testament to the strength and depth of Islamic faith. It's a lesson in devotion, resilience, and the unifying power of community, a lesson that resonates deeply with Muslims today, just as it did centuries ago. Goodbye, may Allah bless us all. That's our discussion for today.